message today is I now pronounce you not guilty, which is, it's interesting to me that we spend our lives reminding ourselves and hanging around with those people that remind us that we're innocent, beautiful, perfect, loving children of God, even though when we came into the world, we already knew it. But over time, different things may have reprogrammed our divine instinctual nature. Maybe you walked into a church as a child and you heard, "You were born in original sin." Whatever heard that one? Yeah. Walk into a spiritual place, there to be reminded of your divine oneness with all of creation, and you hear that. You know what Dr. Phil would say? How's that working for you? So the truth is, our eternal nature is divine, innocent, and perfect, regardless of how we show up in our human form. One thing you do not usually hear in a New Thought church is you usually don't hear your limitations. But I'm going to give you a limitation. It's impossible, no matter how hard you try, to ever be unlovable. Is that true? Who's tried? It's impossible because it is the core of who you are eternally. Always has been, always will be. So now there are people in our lives that have brainwashed us into thinking otherwise. And our job is to put in, I believe that unity is actually an elaborate form of antivirus. Use some of this antivirus to deprogram all those negative belief systems and understand who you really are. Now, if you're blessed enough, you will meet some people in your life that will get you. Now, you will not know that they get you until you've given them reason to not like you. And when they still get your divinity and who you are through all that, that's a true gift right there. Now, typically relationships work out a little bit in like a sequence. In the beginning, when you meet somebody that you really resonate with, and they tell you, "You're awesome. You're like the most awesome person I've ever met." You're like, "I know." Now, regardless of your programming growing up, which probably was not that you were awesome all the time, you're going to be a little high on love drugs. And when you're high, you will start to know the truth. But it's an artificial knowing. If you hang out with them, like Angelina and I, after we were together for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and she would say how awesome I was, I'd start to say, my old programming was coming back up, all those negative lies I had believed about myself, and I went, well, you don't know me that well. Our old not enoughness, unlovability comes up. And then if you stay with somebody long enough, I heard from a great master teacher, Reverend Temple, once that said the growing is in the staying. If you stay long enough, then you will start to remember that they were right. The way you believed them in the beginning, that's the truth. And eventually, you'll be back to that knowing when they tell you how wonderful you are. But without the drug-induced high of the love drugs, it'll be real and rich and lasting. So our job, I believe, is to love each other and love ourselves unconditionally and constantly remind ourselves and each other of our perfection. Now, when you were a kid, chances are your parents told you how fabulous you were until you inconvenienced them. And then you got a different message. And regardless of what they said, if they came at you with anger, resentment, or disappointment, what you probably heard was this simple thing: I am not lovable unless. And that is a great crime. to ever believe that or to inflict that. So we study some material called Real Love by Dr. Greg Baer. Any Real Love fans out there? There's a few of them. Okay. By the way, raise your hand if today is the first time you are seeing us speak. Y'all have changed a lot in 5 years. Almost everybody's new. Okay, wonderful. So, Dr. Greg Baer says, in a place of anger, resentment, or disappointment, you're probably not going to be mirroring to the people in your life how fabulous they are. Especially if you blame them for your anger, resentment, or disappointment. Are you with me? Yeah. You're probably not. So what he says is, he says, you need to go into a space where you can find a way to get filled back up. Because when you're angry, resentful, or disappointed, your love tank has been emptied. And you will be giving an empty love tank to the people that you're supposed to love. So let's say that Alan is my 16-year-old son, and he just got his new car, and he drove it through the garage without opening the door. I'm probably not going to feel all that filled up at that moment, am I? So, according to Real Love, an appropriate response would be, Alan, I know you're freaked out right now. I'm a little freaked out too, but I want you to know, I absolutely love you the same that I did before you did what you did. Do you know that? I love you the same. This will not affect my love. We'll deal with some consequences later, but my love for you is not going to change. My love for me right now is a little weird. I need to get filled back up. We'll talk about this later. Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You went off again.
Okay. Remind us not to take anything too seriously. Can you hear me now? Okay, so there we go. We're back. I go to Reverend Temple and I say, Reverend, I want to kill my son. And you see what she's doing? She's filling me back up. She goes, she's going to love me. She's going to love me right where I am, full of anger, disappointment, resentment. And she's going to say things like, I felt that way before. I'd probably feel the same way in your shoes right now. But you know the truth. That garage doors are replaceable. And your job is to love yourself and that boy unconditionally so he grows up feeling so good about himself. And I start to fill back up. And I go, oh my God, you were so right. Thank you, beautiful sister. Thank you, sister. Okay. I'll leave it at And we do tithe where we're spiritually fed. Absolutely. Okay. And then I can go back from a loved up, filled up man, and I can say, we got to talk about how you're going to pay for this. Yeah. At that point, he feels consequences. He knows there are consequences. God, the universe, gives us consequences, right? If you're out of alignment with who you are, there are consequences. Okay? That's not unloving. He feels love no matter what he does, but he also feels taken care of. There will be healthy discipline and consequences. When people around you treat you in the way you do not like to be treated, you have an opportunity to attack them back or to love them up. If you're not able to love them up, lovingly tell them that you're the one with the problem and you're going to get healed, and then you can come back and talk to them about it. You see the difference in that energy. We are divine, innocent, children of God, perfect beings of love, no matter what we do. And what we have done is we have confessed to a crime we didn't do. We saw an Oprah show many years ago that had some men that had been in prison for many years. They were in prison for taking the lives of family members. They did DNA testing 10 or 15 years after that, and guess what? They were innocent. And it was a fabulous thing for them to be free. But here's the twist. Both men had confessed to the crime. Now wait a second. Why in the world would you confess to a horrible crime you didn't do? They said, we were traumatized, we were interrogated, we were confused, And part of us just wanted the voices to stop. And if you're a child and you were told that you're the wrong skin color, you're the wrong height, you're the wrong sex, you're the wrong orientation, you're not smart enough, you're too smart, a part of you eventually will start to believe that, even though it's a lie. A part of you will eventually just want the voices to stop and will say, okay, whatever. You're right. You're right. See, when you tell somebody you're right, they often stop talking. When you defend yourself all the time, they want to keep going. So part of you will confess to a crime you didn't do, just like these men did. They confessed to a crime they didn't do. And the worst crime you can ever confess to is the false idea that you are in any way unlovable. Absolutely impossible for you to ever be unlovable, ever to be not enough, just the way you are. So we're going to close our portion of the service now with a song called Innocent. He gave a false confession, and when they asked him why, he said, I did not know the truth. He was innocent. I thought about my own life, how I was like that kid when they told me I was bad. I offered my confession to what they said I did, and lost the childhood I once had. I am innocent. I did nothing wrong. I've been serving time for this crime far too long. I am not to blame for what I didn't do. There is nothing I need to prove. I am innocent. We are innocent. This is the time for justice. This time we're here to get it right. We're finally hearing the whole truth. You know what I did? I fired all my juries and got the pardon I deserve. And now I'm free of the inmates too. You are innocent. You did nothing wrong. You've been serving time for this crime far too long. You are not to blame for what you didn't do. There is nothing you need to prove. We are innocent. We did nothing wrong. We've been serving time for this crime for way too long. We are not to blame for what we didn't do. There is nothing we need to prove. I am innocent.
You are so lovable.
You are innocent.
Who you are is so important.
We are innocent.
You deserve so much love.
There is nothing we need to prove. I am innocent.
You are worthy.
You are innocent.
You are perfect in every way.
We are innocent. I now